In 1949, yet another iconic American play was awarded the Pulitzer Prize for Drama. Arthur Miller, considered one of the greatest American playwrights of the 20th century, wrote the first act of Death of a Salesman in less than a day. The play tells the story of salesman Willie Loman, who finds his career crumbling and his relationships with his wife and sons severely tested in this dreamlike meditation on the cost of blind faith in the American dream. Sound familiar? Many critics describe Death of the Salesman as the first great American tragedy. And Miller gained eminence as a man who understood the deep essence of the United States and who, through the fictional character of Willie Loman, managed to touch deep chords within the national psyche. In Act 1, Willie's sons, Biff and Happy, are visiting home. In this scene, they are upstairs in their childhood bedroom, privately discussing their father's hopes for them, the possibility of finding happiness through work, and, in essence, the myth of the American dream.
What's the matter?
Why does Dad mock me all the time?
He's not mocking you.
Everything I say, there's a twist of mockery on his face. Can't get near him.
He just wants you to make good, that's all. I wanted to talk to you about that for a long time, but if something's happening to him, he talks to himself.
I noticed that this morning, but he always moaned.
But not so noticeable. It got so embarrassing I sent him to Florida. And you know something? Most of the time he's talking to you.
What's he say about me?
I can't make it out.
What's he say about me?
I think the fact that you're not settled, that you're still kind of up in the air.
If there's one or two things disappointing him, Happy?
What do you mean?
Never mind, just don't lay it all on me.
But I think if you just got started, I mean, is there any future for you out there?
I tell you, Hap, I don't know what the future is. I don't know what I'm supposed to want.
What do you mean?
Well, I spent 6 or 7 years after high school trying to work myself up. Shipping clerk, salesman, business, one kind or another, and it's a measly manner of existence. To get on that subway on the hot mornings in the summer, to devote your whole life to keeping stock or making phone calls or selling or buying, to suffer 50 weeks of the year for the sake of a 2-week vacation. When all you really desire is to be outdoors with your shirt off. Always just to get ahead the next time. And that's how you're supposed to make a living. And a future.
Well, you really enjoy it on the farm? I mean, are you content out there?
Heck, I've had 20 or 30 different kinds of jobs since I left home before the war. And it always turns out the same. I just realized it lately in Nebraska, when I heard cattle in the Dakotas, in Arizona, and now Texas. That's why I come home now, I guess, because I realized it. This farm I work on is spring there now. See, they've got about 15 new colts. There's nothing more inspiring or beautiful than the sight of a mare and a new colt. That's cool there now. See, Texas is cool now, and it's spring, and whenever spring comes to where I am, I suddenly get this feeling, my God, I'm not getting anywhere. What the hell am I doing? Playing around with horses, $28 a week. I'm 34 years old, I ought to be making my future. That's when I come running home. And now I get here, and I don't know what to do with myself. I've always made a point of not wasting my life. And every time I come back here, I know that all I've done is waste my life.
You're a poet, you know that, Biff? You're an idealist.
Oh, I'm mixed up. Very bad. Maybe I ought to be married. Maybe I ought to get stuck into something. Maybe that's my trouble. I'm like a boy. I'm not married. I'm not in business. It's just, I'm like a boy. Are you content, Hap? You're a success, aren't you? Are you content?
Hell no.
Why? You make money, aren't you?
All I can do now is wait for the merchandise manager to die. And suppose I get the merchandise. a terrific estate on Long Island, and he lived there about 2 months and sold it. And now he's building another one. He can't enjoy it once it's finished. I know that's just what I would do. I don't know what the hell I'm working for. Sometimes I sit in my apartment all alone. I think of the rent I'm paying, and it's crazy. But then, it's what I always wanted. My own apartment, car, plenty of women. Still, god damn it, I'm lonely.
Listen, why don't you come out west with me?
You and I, eh?
Yeah, sure, maybe we buy a ranch, raise cattle, use the muscles. Men built like we should be working out in Europe.
The Loman brothers, eh?
That shit would be known all over the counties.
That's what I dream about, Biff. I mean, sometimes I want to just rip my clothes off in the middle of the store and outbox a goddamn merchandise manager. I can outbox, outrun, outlift anybody in that store. And I have to take orders from those common petty sons of bitches till I can't stand it anymore.
I'm telling you, kid, if you were with me, I'd have
You
you
see,
out
Biff,
there.
everybody around me is so false that I'm constantly lowering my standards.
Baby, together we'd stand up for another, we'd have someone to
If I
trust.
were around you,
The trouble is we were brought up to grunt for money. I don't know how to do it.
neither can I.
Then let's go.
The only thing is, what can you make out there?
Look at your friend. Built an estate and then hasn't the peace of mind to live in.
Yeah, when he walks into the store, the waves part in front of it. That's $52,000 a year coming through the revolving door. I got more in my pinky finger than he's got in his head.
Yeah, but you just said.
I gotta show some of those pompous, self-important executives over there that Pat Loman can make a grade. I want to walk into that store the way he walks in. Then I'll go with you. We'll be together, I swear. We'll take those two we had tonight. Now, weren't those some gorgeous creatures?
Yeah. Yeah. Most gorgeous I've had in years.
I get that anytime I want, Biff. Whenever I feel disgusted. The trouble is, it's like bowling or something. I just keep knocking them over and it doesn't mean anything. You still running around a lot?
I'd like to find a girl, steady, somebody with substance.
That's what I long for.
Go on. You'd never come home.
I would! Somebody with character, with resistance, like Mom, you know? You can call me a bastard when I tell you this. That girl Charlotte, I was with tonight, engaged to be married in 5 weeks.
No kidding.
Sure. The guy's in line for the vice presidency of the store. I don't know what gets into me. Maybe I just have an overdeveloped sense of competition or something, but I went and ruined her, and furthermore, I can't get rid of her. And he's the third executive I've done that to. Isn't that a crummy characteristic? And to top it all, I go to their weddings. Like, I'm not supposed to take bribes. Manufacturers offer me $100 bill now and then going over their way. You know how honest I am, but it's like this girl, see? I hate myself for it. Because I don't want a girl, and still, I take it and I love it.
Let's go to sleep.
I guess we didn't settle anything yet.
Nah, I just got one idea that I think I'm gonna try.
Now, what's that?
Remember Bill Oliver?
Sure. Oliver's very big now. You want to work for him again?
Sure. No. When I quit, he said something to me. He put his arm on my shoulder, and he said, "Biff, if you ever need anything, come to me."
I don't remember that. That sounds good.
I think I'll go see him. If I could get 10,000, even 7,000, $8,000, I could buy a beautiful ranch.
I bet he backed you, too. Because he thought highly of you, Biff. I mean, they all do. You're well liked, Biff. That's why I say come back here and we both have the apartment. I'm telling you, Biff, any girl you want.
No, with a ranch, I can do the work I like and still be something. I just wonder, though. I wonder if Oliver still thinks they stole those carton basketballs.
Oh, we probably forgot that long ago. It's almost 10 years. You're too sensitive. Anyway, he didn't really fire you.
Well, I think he was going to. And that's why I quit. I was never sure whether he knew enough. I know he thought the world of me, though. I was the only one he let lock up the place.